Welcome back to the top 10 guns of all time here on TFBTV. In part one, we gave you the legends, the 5 guns that weren't just significant to TFBTV, but to the entire firearms world. Big names, historic impact, guns that help define categories and eras. But now we're getting weird with some deep cuts. These are the cult classics, the second half of our top 10 guns of TFBTV's first 10 years. These guns might not have entire Ian McCollum books written about them. Some of them might never get more than a Wikipedia stub article, but they were transformative for this channel, our viewers, and in a lot of cases, they mean something to me personally. So let's get started with a gun that took its time to win me over. Okay, so this is a gun that I didn't like right away. And honestly, that's mostly because it's ugly. It's chunky. It looks like a dollar store water gun with diabetes. The first one I ever reviewed was a lightly modified PX4 compact carry, one of the early guns from Langdon Tactical, and it had one of the best triggers I'd ever felt in a polymer pistol. It was a pretty good gun, but it didn't blow my mind. Then I met Ernest Langdon. Ernest, is this the best polymer frame handgun on the market?
I think it is.
Big Ern, being the PX4 evangelist he is, walked me through the PX4, that it wasn't just good, that it was something special. He talked about its durability, its reliability, and not in marketing terms. I mean real world testing.
This particular gun, this was the 50,000 round test gun that I did, 50,000 rounds in a year. This gun went at 46,000 rounds. I broke the cam block. And the only reason I knew I broke the cam block is the day before I'd had 2 weird mouth stoppages, right? The gun never like jammed and shut down. I'd have a quick stoppage I could fix. And I'd had so few. I was like 2 in one day. I was like, well, I should know when I should probably put some lube on the gun.
Right.
When I took the gun apart, it broke into 2 pieces. So the gun was still working with a broken locking insert. I put a different locking insert in there and finished the test out. This gun now has just shy of 70,000 rounds through it. Still runs great.
How many malfunctions do you think that you've had other than the 2 that you talked about when you literally broke the gun in half?
So this gun had, I want to say 9 stoppages in 50,000 rounds.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The PX4 uses a rotating barrel, which helps mitigate recoil. It's hammer fired, which has its own set of benefits, especially when it comes to carrying safely. The stock PX4 solid pistol, but the LTT version is something else entirely. Ernest's team gives it one of the smoothest, most refined triggers on any polymer or duty gun I've ever shot. They make it optic ready. They NP3 the internals to slick it up. Take it from good to great. Today, the PX4 compact carry from LTT, one of my favorite carry guns. You can get a gun just like mine with the whole package for $1,623. Might sound a bit steep, but compare that to 2011s that cost over twice as much, and they arguably aren't nearly as reliable. I think the PX4 is one of the best values in high-performance carry guns. The gun's also special to me for a different reason. I think this exact pistol and this platform is why I became friends with Ernest and Amy Langdon in the first place, and that means a lot to me. And while the PX4 is a good starting point, it's really the PX4 LTT that I kind of associated with TFBTV and with this channel, so it had to be on this list. It may not be pretty, it may not be popular, but it's a fantastic gun, and I personally love it. You guys know the drill. Every top 5 needs a controversy slot. For this list, it belongs to one of the strangest and most polarizing guns ever to come out of Italy, the Kiapa Rhino. Now, the Rhino, already controversial on its own merits, made by Kiapa, often seen as the simplified descendant of the Mataba auto revolver. What's up to my Togasa fans out there? This gun took everything we knew about revolvers, flipped it literally upside down. That's because the Kiapa Rhino fires from the bottom chamber of the cylinder instead of the top like every other revolver ever. It's got this inverted barrel design that completely changes how recoil is transferred. You get less muzzle rise, you get more control. Honestly, it just works. And it looks the part too. The Rhino might be the most cyberpunk looking revolver ever made. Hard angles, modern finishes, and a minimalist aesthetic. It's like someone designed it for Blade Runner and then said, put it into production. This gun 1000% delivers on the promise of reduced recoil. Even with full house 357 Magnum loads, it's like shooting a 38. And here's the part that matters to me. This was my first traditional review, my first like regular ass gun review to break 1 million views on TFBTV. No gimmicks, just me, a revolver, and a camera by myself. I'm pretty sure it was like in 480p resolution with no audio compression. The video was straight garbage, but for whatever reason, you guys loved it. You watched the shit out of it. I'm grateful for that. I still have the exact gun from that video almost a decade later. It's still in my collection because for all its weirdness, the Rhino just feels different. And I like it. Why is it so controversial? Well, aside from its revolutionary design, the Rhino's internal's insanely complicated even for a revolver. It's like a mechanical spaghetti. Revolvers are already pretty complex, but the Rhino takes it, adds another layer of marinara. Tolerances have to be tight. Maintenance and repairs aren't always fun for this gun. And there's the thumb danger. If you get sloppy with your support hand, you will get pee-pee slapped in your thumb by cylinder blast. But you only probably do it once. Ask me how I know. I still love the Rhino. I love the pistol as a concept. It's definitely a milestone for TFBTV history. It's been a minute since I revisited it on this channel, but maybe it's time to bring this Italian oddball back for a video. 3 guns in this top 5 actually come from Italy, the country that gave us Pizza Hut, Olive Garden, and at least 1 Pope that I'm aware of. Also gave us the Kiapa Rhino. For better or for worse, TFBTV would not be the same without it. All right, let's roll right into it. Number 3, the 365. More than just a gun, it was a moment for us. It might have been the biggest moment that we've ever had, definitely up until that point. At SHOT Show, I still remember it clearly. 2018, started hearing whispers that Sig was going to release a 9mm handgun the size of a compact 380 at SHOT Show. I tracked down my buddy Rich at Sig. I get the scoop from him. I filmed the interview with him. Just like that, the 365 goes nuclear. The SHOT Show video blew up. We called it the #1 gun of SHOT Show 2018, and people lost their minds, including Glock. I'm not kidding. A few weeks after this video dropped, Glock brought me up to Smyrna and they sat me down and they said, "How much did Sig pay you to make the P365, the #1 gun at SHOT Show? It hasn't even been released yet. How would you know?" I said 2 things. 1, top 5 guns at SHOT Show, they're always about the theoretical top 5 guns. Most of the time, no one gets to shoot them anyways. We're ranking the ideas, the promises, the prototypes. That's what SHOT Show's all about. 2, Sig paid me the same that you paid me when I feature you in a video. 0. Funny enough, a video about a Sig was the first step in getting this relationship of trust with Glock. Eventually, Sig sends me a review copy of the P365. I still have that gun. I put over 2,500 rounds through it across 10 or 11 range sessions or something. No cleaning, no oil. It got wet, it got muddy during a training session in the rain, and I didn't touch it for a year. It still ran with only 2 failures near the very end of the test. Now, I'm not naming any names. I know Sig's caught some heat over another pistol that they make lately, but this ain't that. The P365, originally the XL, the X Macro, I had all of them since Gen 1, other than that late stage hiccup that I remember on torture testing this gun. I haven't had a single malfunction with any of them. They're in my regular carry rotation. They deserve to be because they're compact, high capacity, accurate, reliable, good power, 9mm. They changed the game. They changed concealed carry. You guys clearly feel the same way because every time I make a video on the P365 family, whether it's the standard, the XL, the Macro, whatever, you guys watch it. They're always among the most viewed handguns on the channel. Might have turned out to be one of the most important pistols of the past decade, if not the past century. Number 2, the Mossberg Maverick 88. Kind of funny. It's absolutely not a James Reeves gun. Not expensive, not flashy, not European, not modern, not modular. This is a bare bones budget pump action shotgun, and it doesn't care what you think. Made just north of the border in Eagle Pass, Texas. Maverick County, been in production since 1988. Maverick 88. This shotgun is just a Mossberg 500 with a couple corners cut to make it cheaper to build. It's not sexy, but when you can walk into a gun shop and get one for a little over 200 bucks, who cares? I asked Mossberg to send me one because I had just tortured a couple of Turkish shotguns in a 500 round burn down, and both of them failed. One of them, I think it was the Black Aces whatever, it was like 400 bucks. So if that gun didn't make it, a $200 Maverick sure as hell wasn't going to do it either. I was wrong. We put the Maverick 88 through one of the most brutal burn downs we've ever done on TFBTV. 6 shooters lined up at the Neutral Ground Gun Company, and in 70 minutes we pumped out 500 rounds. Buckshot, slugs, birdshot, magnums, low brass, high brass, medium brass. Some of those shells had to have been 50 years old, and we were just stuffing them in the gun and letting them rip. We destroyed every single accessory we mounted on the gun. A flashlight, a light rail, a steel HK sling clip bent into submission, but the shotgun never failed, not once. To this day, that same gun runs. And that video blew up. Nearly 1 million views in just a couple of years. I think it might be at 2 million now. That burn down became a milestone moment for the channel, and it helped define our reputation for no bullshit torture testing. There's not really much to the Maverick 88. It's a cheap pump shotgun, but it's also one of the toughest guns we've ever tested, and it's earned its spot on this list, not just for being cool, not just for being unreasonably good at what it does, but because it truly is a TFBTV classic. All right, everyone, here we go. Now we're at the #1 gun of TFBTV of all time, of the past 10 years. If I run into one of you at SHOT Show, at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, or at one of the rest stops that I frequent along the Mississippi I-10 corridor after dark, you're gonna say one of two things. I bought a Mossberg Maverick 88 because of your video, or I bought a Betta 1301 because of your video.
Move! Ready, up!
And when someone says 1301, I already know what they're gonna say next. I say, let me guess, you love it. And they always do. You guys know that honesty is very important here at TFBTV. It's the backbone of this channel, so let me be straight with you. The Betta 1301, probably the best gun I've ever reviewed. It's light, it's beautifully balanced, it recoils less than shotguns that weigh significantly more, and today, as we sit here, I'd take it over a Benelli M4. I now have two 1301s, including the exact one from my review, which is as close to a perfect semi-auto shotgun as I've ever seen. But let's rewind. I'd always kind of been into shotguns, but I had no formal training. That changed when I signed up for Clint Smith's Urban Shotgun course at Thunder Ranch, widely considered one of the best shotgun courses in the world. Wanting to bring something worthy, something cool, I reached out to Betta because, of course, Betta Group also owns Benelli. I said, guys, I need a Benelli M4 for this video. They said, we don't have any to send you, which what the hell is that? But they said, you know what, we'll send you this other gun, a new Betta 1301. Now, what most of you might not know out there is that the 1301, the first ones that came through the country, are actually pretty rough. They had issues, so when Betta said, look, this new version, we improved it, it's the best semi-auto shotgun ever made, I wasn't just skeptical, I was actually a little bit pissed off. I felt like it was a bait and switch. I said, you know what, fine, send it to me. I'm gonna break this son of a bitch. I bought the cheapest, shittiest ammo I could find, a case of low-end birdshot, some filthy Turkish buckshot that smoked like a brown bess musket. And that 1301 that I still own to this day took all 1,100 rounds over a couple of days at the course. I was running it in snow on day one. By the end of the class, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. This shotgun ran flawlessly, and I was actively trying to make it fail. I told you the truth. I made the video. That video hit millions of views. Then YouTube deleted it out of nowhere. We re-uploaded it, but the original, one of the best videos we ever made, one of the best shotgun reviews on this platform, gone for no good reason, but the 1301's impact didn't end there. In fact, it might have had the single biggest impact of any gun on TFBTV's history, because the 1301 single-handedly kickstarted our shotgun content. Before the 1301, I didn't really care all that much about shotguns. I had a handful of shotgun reviews, but the 1301 didn't just make me respect shotguns, it made me love the platform. It became the benchmark that I used to judge every other shotgun that I reviewed since. It's fast, it's reliable, fit and finish is great. It's like a competition gun, but a tactical shotgun all rolled into one. That's why the Betta 1301 Tactical is the #1 cult classic on TFBTV and our #1 gun of all time. So that wraps up part 2, the cult classics of TFBTV. The weird guns, the sleepers, the underdogs, guns that aren't going to show up in like a military documentary or a book or anything like that, but they're guns that define TFBTV and in some cases helped define me as a shooter as well. Whether it was the PX4 turning me into a Langdon tactical fanboy, the Maverick 88 surviving one of the most brutal torture tests we've ever filmed, or the 1301 kickstarting an entire pillar of shotgun content on this channel, these 5 guns made a permanent mark on the past 10 years of TFBTV. We've got one episode left, part 3. We're wrapping up the series with the honorable mentions. The guns that didn't quite make the top 10, but they came close. Guns that are just as cool, just as fun, and in some cases just as important. So make sure you're subscribed, drop a comment here with your own favorite deep cut from TFBTV, and I will see you in part 3 the honorable mentions. Take care, everyone.